Ladies and gentlemen, what I want you to do is I want you to feast your eyes on this screen, because you're going to see literally that this Carlos and this amputee guy are literally fake, that they're actors, and I have now smoking evidence that this double amputee guy is absolutely a fake, is simply an actor. And you're going to find out here as I explain it to you. So keep your eyes on the screen as we mash play. Watch here. What I want you to do is I want you to look right here in this area where the mouse is, and they're going to come running right through here just as you see. Watch. And I'm going to highlight that point, and I'm going to pause the film, and I'm going to show you where they stop right here, and you're going to see one of the paramedics stop Carlos and the girl that's pushing the wheelchair. And you're going to see him trying to adjust the prosthetic legs of the so-called double amputee. Here it goes. Watch careful. And I'm going to enlarge the print so you can see it clear. Here they come. Boom. Okay, I'm going to pause it. Play. Pause it. Here comes that guy right here in the yellow. You see him right here. Watch careful. And now he stops Carlos from running, and he gets in front of him, stops the wheelchair. Look how normal that this guy looks. You don't no. Watch him. He's adjusting his prosthetic leg right here. Watch. Now I'm going to zoom in right here. Watch careful. I'm going to move this down to that point, and we're going to enlarge that point here in just a second so you can clearly see it. He's adjusting something there. The question is what? Why would he be adjusting anything there? Watch him. He gets down and he lifts something up on his legs. And are you serious? He dropped the prosthetic leg. It came off of his body. Now he's picking it up and readjusting it on his body. Y'all see that? Look careful. I'll zoom in closer. This is off the chart stuff, guys. Watch. And then he gets out of the screen. And the guy just stands there this whole time. This is the double amputee guy that they claimed. But whatever he did, he picked up something, and something had fell off, and now he's trying to make sure he holds it, and that he holds it in place as he's running down the street to an ambulance. Now, why wouldn't an ambulance go to that spot right there and pick him up? Why would they have to run a wheelchair all the way down the street to go to an ambulance? So this shows you here that this is clearly something very wrong with this picture here. So I want you to pay very close attention again. I'm going to back it up and let you see that again. So watch careful. Okay, here they come. And there, you see it? And there they go. Wow. I'm going to make sure you see that again. And this time I'm going to slow the film down, the duration of the film, so you can see it's a lot slower. You'll see him when he picks it up. He comes. He sees something wrong. He runs out in front of him. And then he stops he stops him from going. He stops him from going, and then he picks something up and he adjusts it onto his leg right there. You see that right there? He picks his leg up and then he adjusts it back on him. And the guy was even sitting there looking at him what he's doing. This is crazy, crazy stuff, guys. Wow. Now, this other thing that I'm going to show you is quite interesting, so give me just a minute. And ladies and gentlemen, and here again, this is more evidence to show you that these were hired actors. Here we have the police commissioner of Boston, Massachusetts, who sits up here and says that when he's referring to the two suspects, he was referring to them as being actors, and then he caught himself making a mistake, and you can hear him correcting himself after he had realized he had made the mistake. So pay very close attention to this.
So how confident can you be that they don't have more explosives still out there, sir?
We cannot be positive, but we're confident that these were the two actors, these were the two individuals that were carrying out this mission, and they are dead or arrested at this point in time. That these were the two actors, these were the two individuals, that these were the two actors, these were the two individuals, these were the two actors, these were the two individuals.
So how confident can you be that they don't have more explosives still out there, sir?
We cannot be positive, but we're confident that these were the two actors, these were the two individuals that were carrying out this mission, and they are dead or arrested at this point in time.
So, ladies and gentlemen, in this next clip, you're going to hear actual footage from the suspects that they were shooting at. You're actually going to hear in the background, underneath all of the gunfire, the suspects hollering out that we didn't do it. And they're trying, in other words, you're not only hearing it from the mother of these suspects saying that they're innocent, you're even hearing from the suspects hollering out themselves that that they did not do it. And then we also have new breaking news that the so-called mother of these two suspects says that their son are alive, that they are not dead, and that the stories of them shooting them and all this is an actual farce. And I have that news we're going to show you here in just a few seconds. I'm just going to give you the clips here in just a second. But let me go ahead and give you this, and you will see what I'm talking about. Okay, so hang on just one sec.
Mike's video that he sent in to us. We have the one that he sent to us. I wonder if at this point in time we can take a look at it and see what he has on this video, so we can all look for one. Remember, this is obviously dark at night, and so here's Mike's video. Let's take a look at it and listen to it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is just to highlight these two nurses, these first responders, turned out to be there for the drill, to train during the drill, and then they were called into action just like this McKinney did during 9/11. This is like we're revisiting 9/11 all over again, but this time nobody died in this situation. And I'm going to say it again: nobody died, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm saying it to the parents of this 8-year-old kid. And if this 8-year-old kid died, this 8-year-old kid died long before the incidents of the bombing. But I do not believe anyone died, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to stick to that because no evidence points to anyone dying. Show me a body, and I will stand there and testify that this is a dead body. But until then, I'm not going to sit up here and say that these people are telling the truth about anyone dying. So, these people here were there for the exercise. This lady here, when you hear this woman's story, you're going to be blown off the charts. This woman is a full of shit actress as they ever been, just like Sandy Hook. We found out that this woman even said to Anderson Cooper that she wasn't even in pain when her damn foot got blown off. And ladies and gentlemen, I had cut my fingers with a skill saw. I literally almost lost my damn hand on the damn skill saw and with a damn box cutter on my damn hand. Okay? I am not joking about this. When you even get one single damn cut on your bone, you're going to be in pain. It may not register that you're in pain in that split instance of a second, but a few seconds after your blood rushes back up to your head from that injury, you're going to feel the damn pain. Period. Now, this woman's full of crap. Look how happy she is. Look how her demeanor is. And then she says, oh, I'm not 100% angry at these suspects who did this. Why wouldn't you be? You remember they said that this was a terrorist group that blew up her damn leg and everybody else out there. Wouldn't you be 100% pissed at the people who did it? Absolutely. No ifs, buts about it. But this woman, if you watch her face and her demeanor and listen to her story, you'll find out she's full of fucking shit. Okay? End of subject. Okay? Then there's another thing. When I told you about the amputee, early in the film, you all seen the amputee, when he lost his leg and the paramedic had to pick it up for him to put it onto him and to make sure that he holds on to the leg as he goes through to the ambulance because there's going to be photographers over there around the corner that are ready to take pictures at you when you run down there. So he literally, and I showed you, slowed it down to show you that this guy was a freaking actor. Then you all heard, again, at the end of this thing, ladies and gentlemen, when I played that last audio, you all heard the commissioner saying that these were actors, these suspects were actors, and then he corrected himself when he realized he made a mistake. And then you sit up here and watch the last clipping where the suspect, one of the suspects, were yelling out when he was being fired at. You can hear him in the background saying, "I didn't do it." I highlighted it, amplified it, so you can all hear it and you have nothing to argue about but amongst yourselves and sit up there and try to debunk it, whatever you can do. But this crap is a damn lie. They sit up there and lie to the American people. They stage this entire event. But there's a big picture here that everybody is not looking at. One is that we have military working with law enforcement. What does that tell you, ladies and gentlemen? Is that they were preparing to do a martial law training exercise to get the military used to working with the local police department and the State Department, doing door-to-door search and seizures and controlling and doing and conducting police tactics that are supposed to be done on a local level, not on a national level. And then here you have this whole deal where they had to create an environment to justify the presence of military on the damn streets. You don't get it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the whole point that I'm trying to stress out to all of you. That they were using this as a tactic to justify martial law. Because it's what they're getting ready to do. These son of a bitches are getting ready to collapse your economy. These son of a bitches are getting ready to start targeting American people just like they did in Texas. Now, I do know that I made a video showing you exactly how a missile was fired into that fertilizer plant. I know that there was music onto that video. I could not help that, by the way. There was already music on the video when I found the video, and I uploaded it onto my YouTube channel trying to highlight what this person had found. And he was accurate. It was a missile. Now, I'm going to give you another video without any music whatsoever, and I'm going to highlight that very thing, what y'all seen in there. You're going to see that it was a missile long before it even happened. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, this is some serious stuff. We are in some serious trouble now. They're telling us something with all this bullshit that's going on around our country. They're letting you know that they're getting ready for martial law. And it's up to us that we start taking the shit seriously. And by that saying, guys, I got another video I'm coming out with. I'm going to highlight all these videos in the next video. But before that, I'm going to give you the video with the missile fired into Texas. And then I'll give you this one here that you're all looking at now. Okay? So, guys, I got to get out of here. This time's running out on this video player. So I'll get back in with y'all in just a little bit. So just hang tight, and I'll give y'all another video after this one, okay? So I'll talk to you in a bit. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome all of you back here again. I want to first of all show you a document before I begin this video, and I'm going to try to be quick with this and try to get through this real quick. This document here is from Louisiana.gov website. This is an actual official order form that they put out, and you can even, I'm going to post a link below the YouTube video that you're watching in the information tab when you'll go to look for all the links that I'm adding. Anyhow, this document here is an order form to order 200,000 death certificates, and this order form is to be completed by June the 30th of 2013. The order was originally placed on July the 14th, 2011. But the order is to be expired on June the 30th, 2013. Now the question is why are they ordering so many death certificates? Are they trying to tell us something with the situation that's happening with all these sinkholes and all of this methane gases that are bubbling up out of the around where the sinkholes are at? Are they trying to say that that a mass amount of people are going to die and they need to prepare their death certificates? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what the reasons are to this, and I'm just only speculating, but concerning the fact that we have mass casualty drills going on, they're trying to tell us something with all this, guys. And they're trying to tell us something with all of these military working with law enforcement, like inside of Boston. Okay? This is all the things that that are concerning me, and I'm just putting two and two together. That's all I'm doing. I'm just looking at the information that they show us and trying to distinguish and trying to disseminate, everything I can about these documents and trying to break them down and understand them to be able to, to share with all of you. Now, on another note, Now that we see this document here, now you can see that it does exist, and you will get a copy of it. So don't worry about that. Now, before I start my video, I'm going to address another issue. Okay, I have received a death threat, not a death threat, but basically you might as well say that it's a death threat. I don't know how to put it, but anyhow, I have received a threat that somebody wants to put me down because me making these videos. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to simply just say it straight off the bat. I'm not afraid of you, and I'm not moved, nor am I budging. And you're not going to stop me nor persuade me to change my mind or to change my thoughts or to change my beliefs of what I feel about this situation. The evidence are stronger than your threats, and you can't run nor can you hide, and nor am I afraid of anybody, nor am I going to hide from you. I'm not one of these chicken shit pullovers that you're just going to push me over. So you can get off the damn bandwagon and thinking you're going to whoop somebody's butt. So take that and let it sink into your head. I'm not intimidated, so keep your threats to yourself. Another thing is, this document here, guys, I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to show you this in a very fashioned way. And I'm going to also show you another document, because this document right here is going to show you this guy standing right here throws what appears to be dust on the victims over here so that it will give the appearance on their hair that they have been blown up and covered in debris and dust and filth and all this. And this is what they're doing. What you're going to see. You're going to see full 100% evidence that this guy was staging the entire scene to make it look like these were true victims. You'll see in just a few moments, and we're going to cover this, and I'm going to enlarge the print so you can all see it very clear. Another thing I'm going to show you here is that this is an amputee guy who lost both of his legs. Now, this doctor, I want you to listen to this real quick because I'm going to highlight some more stuff. Okay, this doctor says most people that have a double amputee usually do not even make it to a hospital. In most cases, in all of the cases that he's ever heard and ever treated, they do not survive and make it to a hospital. Listen to what he has to say. You don't have to listen to me, just listen to him.
Most people with this injury do not survive to make it to the hospital.
Dr. David Smith and other surgeons operated on Duncan 23 times over the next 41 days. He spent 4 months in the hospital.
Now, the deal is that this man named Truman Duncan, he was a man who was working in a train station, and they were connecting carts together, and he wound up falling in between the trains, and both his legs got trapped in the train wheel and severed both of his legs and cut through his pelvic bone. Now, the only thing that saved this man's life was the train itself, because when it severed all of his arteries, it stopped on top of his artery, which meant that it pinched his arteries from bleeding out. But this man, that's the only thing that kept this man alive, was the train itself is what kept him alive. And then plus on top of that, he also had the help of other people helping him immediately when he had the accident. It is not the same scenario as to what happened in Boston. In Boston, we have a man that claims he lost 2 legs, but the problem is that he did not have anyone helping him. He didn't even have anyone adding pressure to the wound for several minutes, ladies and gentlemen. And this is also impossible, because you also got to take into consideration he severed both arteries. This is what they're trying to tell all of you. But it is simply impossible to survive that long period of time with no help and no one adding or applying a tourniquet on the wound to stop the bleeding from the arteries. And that's what went wrong in this story that you're all listening to at Boston. This guy was clearly a fraud. And I made a video showing you that he is not Jeff Bowman, as we all thought he was, as the media keeps trying to say he is. And even the people on here that were trolls even try to keep arguing with me that he is Jeff Bowman. Well, I still believe that he was Nick Vogt, okay? But here's the problem. We found out he is Nick Vogt because we found out his left hand was actually missing a pinky finger, the same as Nick Vogt did in his tour duty inside of Afghanistan. he lost both of his legs, and he lost his pinky. Well, we showed you a video that shows this man had lost his pinky, and I pointed it out to you. Well, that still hasn't got you to believe it. Now watch watch this next clip, and you're going to see that it was a staged event as well. Not just only the hand thing, not just only the amputee guy, but even this story right here. Okay? This story right here is going to blow your mind, so hang tight. We're going to get to this in just 1 second. Okay, let me get it set up. And ladies and gentlemen, in this clip, I want you to pay very close attention because I'm going to only show this only a couple of times and this video is going to be over with. I want you to pay very close attention to this. Watch careful to this play. I'm going to mash play and I want you to watch. Watch careful. You're going to see this guy right here. Right here. He's going to douse the victims that are on the ground with some kind of dust particle. And I don't know what kind of dust particle it is. Watch him. Here it goes. And it clips over to that side. And it goes right, and it's going to go right back over to this guy. Watch. Watch him careful. Watch careful. Watch careful. I'm pausing it frame by frame so you can see it. Now watch him. He bends over and he's laying over all the people below him. And then, there. Now, we're going to zoom in over on this right here, and you're going to see that this is not a blanket, as some of you thought it was. Let's focus and zoom in on that one spot right there, okay? So you can all see it. Okay? I'm going to take the next frame. Do you see how all this... Do you see this little powdery stuff right here? Let me go ahead and zoom in a little bit more closer so you can see it. Does that look like a blanket to you guys? See how it's all broken up? How it's like a powdery substance and flaky? Looks like powder had been thrown on these people. Now I'm going to make the next frame. Watch here. Watch careful. I'm going to go back to it. Don't worry. Watch this guy carefully. Hang on just a minute. Go back to the full frame. Watch careful. Now watch him here, just real quick. Watch his hands. And he's got something object in his hands there. Now, I'm going to zoom in just a little bit closer just so you can get a little bit more better picture of this. Watch. Boom, he's got something in his hands. He bends over. And there's not a damn blanket in his hands, guys. That is paper. Watch. He bends up and he yells at them. He says, move. He tells them to move. You see his lips? I'm going to zoom in so you can see his lips so you can see that he's telling them to move. Okay? He hollers out at them because he's getting ready to throw something on them. Alright? You see his lips? Move! This is what I see in his face. Okay? He hollers at them. Okay? And watch this. He raises his hands up. He raises it up more. And there. He throws it out. A powdery substance. Look. And it spreads even further out openly. What kind of shit is this, ladies and gentlemen? This man clearly is setting the stage to make it look like these victims were severely injured, and so that they can use this powdery substance to put on their wet hairs, where they put the fake blood on their wet hairs or water, whatever it is, and they can pack this in there so it would give the appearance of a victim who has been doused with, how you say, debris from the bomb blast. This is evidence at its best, ladies and gentlemen. And thanks to this person who found this and who had spotted this, her name is Rainbow to Sun. I want to say thank you for showing us all of this videos, and I hope that you you watch this video, because this is a shout out to you, and this is the credit for your findings. And I hope that you allow us to use this video, because it's definitely revealing that and giving more evidence and proof that this entire scene was staged. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your life. And in spite of all the threats that I'm receiving by some of these people that cannot handle the truth, and they got to only just sit there and threaten somebody, this has got to do with their lives as well. Everybody is all a part of the game. So, it's either you wake up now or wait till it's in your neighborhoods. And by saying that, y'all keep up for the next video, because I got something even much more disturbing. So, y'all hang tight. And thanks, guys, for listening. Bye.
And now they have this weaponry that they've used, and they're literally making, there's so much money in running their secret government and their secret system. They've got people working for them. They've got this whole thing going on behind the scenes, and it's operating in the darkness. And there are people like you and I that are operating in the light. And I choose to stay in the light, and I choose to stay out in the open. But the forces of evil in the darkness are working against me. And there is a strong possibility that they're trying to make a move. And I mentioned Sergeant Dyer. He was a YouTuber. And what they did was they set this guy up. They can use computer technology. They can use multiple trolls. They can use multiple angles, do whatever they want in secrecy, in the darkness, to set you up and not necessarily have to put a bullet in you. They can just slowly, methodically set you up to choke you off and kill you in many different ways. And that's what's being done to me right now. I have trolls, I have people, I have evil operators in the darkness that are setting up this stage to not just possibly kill me, but to set me up so that they can say, oh, Pete Santilli, you have pornography on your computer. It's child pornography. And we are thereby going to send a SWAT team in to come get you. Therefore, my life is in danger at that point. Now, I've had some people on the internet who have literally set up videos and have made claims that I made threats. And guess what? I just issued a threat at the beginning of the show. I'm not afraid to stand and be held accountable for my threats. I've made worse threats on air and will be held accountable for those. I will stand on it. But what they did was they hacked into my computer. This is an absolute 1,000% fact. That someone hacked into my computer and under my account name, to make it look like it came from my IP address, wrote a couple of really semi-innocent threats. Now, Susanna Cole, would you agree that those threats aren't even actionable threats that law enforcement could take action on? Don't you agree?
Yeah, I mean, I'm having a really hard time hearing you because it's breaking up. We have a bad connection for some reason.
It is a bad connection. Okay, I'm sorry about that. You may want to just reconnect, possibly. Let's see if we can reconnect Susanna. But here's the deal: the threats, the so-called threats that were put out on the internet, were screenshots. They were taken of comments that were made by somebody that was not me. I have had somebody go onto my computer. This is how they did it. They went onto my computer.
They updated and changed this spindle, these that are on the rotation on the MSN.com site, because they had the interesting picture here. No doubt y'all already have heard the news that Whitney Houston, iconic singer as she was found dead in her bathtub in her hotel room. Now, you see this picture right here? Let's see if we can pause this right here for a moment. Let's stop the rotation on this. We should have got the other picture, actually. Well, this is a different picture of Adele. This is a different photo of Adele right here. They had a frontal view where Adele is looking like head on, similar to the one of Whitney right here, looking head on into the camera. Now, of course, the conspiracy theorists, and some might want to include us to some degree as well, though we're not looking really for any conspiracy, but something doesn't, something doesn't feel right, as they say. You get a gut feeling about these sort of things, when they happen, how they happen, what sort of information or disinformation gets out there, how the story changes inevitably later on. I say inevitably because always in these situations the story always changes, and sometimes they throw in a little surprise, something totally unexpected. So no doubt we should look for the unexpected in this particular story. So here were some of the clips. Started to follow this story once I had got online and everything. And what I do sometimes is I'll just take the pictures, right, and take a snapshot of the whole screen, because some of these news sites like MSN.com, what happens is that they change it up. They change up the story. Certain stories they change up. Other stories have the same headlines, has the same basic, information. Basically, that's the story. But then, of course, there's other stories. You understand? There are these other stories where it really changes. It changes a lot from almost minute to minute. Let's just undo this right here and put this picture. This is the latest picture that they put up for Whitney Houston, announcing that they're going to have an autopsy. So that's the picture that they use on the MSN. Now down here, this was the first clip, and the good thing is the date and time has been saved as well. So what we're going to do is repaste this in this program right here. And I actually was preparing for another lecture dealing with 2012 and beyond. And these are some of the clips here, that some of the word picks that we was going to use. So we'll paste this right here, and hopefully we could get into that other lecture concerning 2012. Well, we live in perilous times, my people, my brothers and sisters. This is why it says to watch, to be diligent, and to render sacred service. Now, this is let's enlarge this a little bit. It says Houston. Okay, pop legend Whitney Houston dies at 48. Now, this was about 12:14 p.m. February 12th, 2012, or 2/12 or 02/12/2012. So I guess you can make something out of that as well. February being the so-called second month. Here, the lead says Houston was pop music's reigning queen. Not she is, but she was, right? Until her majestic voice was ravaged by drug use and erratic behavior. What does that mean? By erratic behavior? Drug use, to some extent, one could probably understand, cracking out and so forth and so on, or alcohol, or the gateway drug leading to those, which is, that's the so-called cannabis or marijuana. But to some degree, many of these folks, and many folks who do smoke marijuana recreationally, most likely should not. Only medicinal and sacramental use of the herb should be in a righteous world. But that's the world to come. So right here they say Grammy tribute planned. You see this right here? Grammy tribute planned. It says Bob Brown, speaking of Bobby, sobs on stage, pre-Grammy gala honors Whitney. Pre-Grammy gala, because they said there was some sort of function that was going on out there, and allegedly it was to honor Whitney. So it wasn't like she was just in town, nobody knew, but they were doing something to honor her already. And then they say Grammy tribute planned. Now, was the Grammy tribute already planned? I mean, look how interesting. There was no mention that, at the 2012 Grammys, Whitney Houston's going to be there, because in the media, all we have seen is clips, bits and bytes of people perpetually making jokes, making Whitney Houston the butt of their jokes. So when people say, well, who you think killed her? You know what I'm saying? The same thing I said with Michael Jackson in a video after he was found dead or died or was killed or whatever the situation is. They're charging somebody for that, but still, it's like with Kennedy, we still don't know the story. This is another story right here concerning pop legend Whitney Houston, found dead at the age of 48. So they have a Grammy tribute that was already planned. Well, how ironic is this? You know, I mean, and how fortuitous, that's the word I want to look for. Fortuitous it is that they already had something planned for her, but then there was a pre-Grammy gala that honors Whitney. Now, just a couple of days ago on TMZ, and we saw TMZ. Let's go over here, back over here for a moment. We saw TMZ, right? On TMZ, a couple of nights ago, they had, you know, once again making Whitney the butt of some jokes, you know, about how she's messing up, you know, she can't carry the notes and acting erratic behavior, so forth and so on. But they got what they wanted. They got Bobby and Whitney to break up because they were two different kind of black people. They're coming from two different black African American post-traumatic slave disorder backgrounds, Whitney and Bobby. You know, I compared Whitney and Bobby a little bit earlier, speaking about this subject, with Jay-Z and Beyonce, even though people seem to take to the Jay-Z and Beyonce much better than the public and even the industry took to Bobby Brown and Whitney Houston's relationship and marriage. And some of us recall that. In fact, in reasoning about this, I was reminded of some of the things that were going on even when Whitney started to kind of break out, in a sense, from that being made by those who discovered her. She was made by those. Now, let me say this for the record. No doubt, I think Whitney, her vocals, her pipes, so to speak, were exquisite and excellent. I mean, no doubt, you have to be deaf not to be able to hear, and somewhat heartless not to appreciate her music and her singing abilities. After all, her mother is a Grammy, a gospel Grammy award winner, you know, known in the gospel music. So that's that African American spiritual church gospel background that Whitney, I guess they'll say now, she broke away from that. You know, she broke, and she went with the bad boy, you know, because Bobby was like the bad boy, you understand? And, of course, darker in complexion, too, and a lot of black folks still have an issue, you know, with those matters, although they, in some sense, are trying or being forced by, you know, society, you know, by the changes that are going on. They're forced to kind of, you know, suppress that and say that doesn't matter. But that was not the case for Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown, but especially Whitney Houston here, because she has been found dead in very suspicious circumstances. No sort of reason or motive has come forward, or even how it has happened. So here we see that Whitney Houston autopsy set for today, excuse me. let me show you. It's set for today. This is a part of it right here, that Whitney Houston autopsy is set for today. So they're going to have the autopsy on Sunday. You understand? The same day as the Grammys. Now, what is this about? Is it just that she just was taking a bath and died in the bathtub? I mean, are we to believe that this is just what happened? Especially on the heels of the fact that TMZ had a clip of her where they was joking how she looked all like worn out. She looked like she's getting worse. She's like she need to eat, you know, like give her a sandwich and all. I mean, this is how they were joking about Whitney Houston. Every time there was some viral video of her performing somewhere and people upset, and they made this front page news along with the other so-called serious global issues. You know, they made her personal musical, artistic struggles. They even talked about the fact that she was bankrupt, that she was broke. In fact, that's how it came out, that she was broke. And this is less than a month, within a month ago. This all now leads up to her being found dead. Right after they had a gala, a pre-Grammy gala to honor her. Now, the Grammys. What are they talking about with the Grammys? Wasn't they just talking about the fact that Adele from UK, the UK singer, who many have already been comparing, you know, and contrasting with Whitney Houston, that she's as good or even better, some say. And you could go out there and see the blogs and the chat on the internet. It's still out there. You know, once anything's on the internet, they say it's there forever. So you'll still find all this evidence that leads up to her being found dead. They don't say it's a suicide. They don't say it's murder. They don't say it's foul play. They didn't even say that there was drugs found, unless these were cleaned up or something like that. But then I found out that she's been dating her new boy toy, as they call it, as this guy Ray J. You know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. Brandy's brother, Kim Kardashian's boy toy, you know, where she exploded, so to speak, no pun intended, after they did that softcore kind of porn and everything that went viral, so forth and so on. Her career, making money just being Kim Kardashian, you know, moved on, and Ray J still remain, I guess, Hollywood's kind of black so-called gigolo, doing little bit parts here and there and being seen in the company of various different socialites, actresses, women, so forth and so on. But anyway, we're not saying anything more than that because we don't know anything more than that to really say. But this is one of the elements concerning this story that we need to really scrutinize and look at. Now, they say that details emerge in the death of the iconic singer who, according to TMZ, was found unconscious. They didn't say that she was found dead. Now they're saying that she was found unconscious, right, in the bathtub of her room at the Beverly Hilton Saturday afternoon. Isn't this how ironic? Now there's a report that Houston's daughter is in hospital. Houston's daughter is in the hospital. This is Bobby Christina, the daughter, her one daughter with Bobby Brown. You know. Now, here's the interesting thing, and we'll probably go into this at another time. Like we said, we didn't really intend, it wasn't our intention to really, you know, do a vid on this. But as the story is developing, and, you know, sometimes you can't help you being connected to the media, you know, hearing the different updates about it and seeing how the story begins to morph and begins to change. And, you know, they'll say one thing one moment and then they say something else and don't even talk about what they said just a couple of moments ago. They don't say, well, before we reported such and such, that appears not to be the case. What the case is now, based on such and such and such, is such. No, they just give these different kind of stories from hour to hour, moment to moment, or day to day, depends on how hot a story is. But here there's a report on Houston's daughter. They say that Houston's daughter right here, she's in the hospital. So what that's about, I'm sure will develop. Now let's just move this right here to this picture again. Let's see if they go back to the older picture. Like we said, we should have actually taken a snapshot so you could see that. Remember, this is only less than 5 hours. Like less than about 5 hours after we first got onto the internet and opened up the MSN.com. They've kind of added additional stories, and they've already changed this picture right here. This picture, they've changed this picture of Adele. Now, the big talk has been Adele. Will she sing after getting surgery to correct her vocals? How interesting. How did she ruin her vocals? You know, they said that Whitney ruined it with drug use. How many singers use drugs? You know, how many singers, I mean, all kind of, whatever they want to call drugs, let's just call it drugs, including alcohol and reefer marijuana, but right, for the sake of the argument. How many singers, performers, and artists use drugs, whether recreationally, whether hardcore, whether, you know, how many, that's Hollywood. You understand? That's show business, basically. You know, whether they are prescribed or whether they are over the counter or whether they are, you know, by other means. But anyway, they say that she ruined her voice, or her voice had problems, right? Adele. But now she's had a surgery, right, to correct her vocals. And everybody's been asking whether she is going to sing tonight. People, this is what the update right there is at 5:39. This is about 6:15, and we don't know whether we're going to even watch it or really not, you know, look at the highlights later on or check it out on the internet. We might go back and forth and check out a little bit of it, you know, just to see how they spin this story, because myself, as well as a lot of y'all, you know, Whitney Houston, her sound was a part of our lives. Now, whether all the great ones are dying and so forth and so on, I think that's overkill, that's overhype, you know. But we really need to understand some things carefully about what happened to this woman here, Whitney Houston, and also what it demonstrates about the state of black people and black artists and performers. Because remember, she reached a level that a lot of these other artists did not, even though many of the songs that she sung were written by others. You know what I mean? So they had the real rights of the song. She only made money by performing. This is one of the reasons why after the breakup from Bobby, which is also another element, what I think of the bigger conspiracy, the breakup from Bobby. I think Bobby and her relationship, though it was not perfect, this would have never happened if Bobby and her had remained together, and moreover, if the media had remained out of it, and therefore people would have also remained a respectful distance away as well. But because they, in a sense, dissed the matrix, you know, they dissed the system, you know what I mean, and basically kind of went off of the grid. You know, they were made, whenever possible, made the butt of every sort of kind of they go niggas, you know, niggas that are drug addicts, abusers, low lives, you know what I mean? And the only reason is because they decided, in that sense, to love each other and to go through the ups and the downs. And although a lot has been put in the media, Bobby's abusive, Bobby's doing this, and she's, you know, she's the victim. She even said that, yeah, they have their, she was very honest, very candid about it, and about her own participation or initiation in some of these things, because we're black people still suffering from post-traumatic slave disorder. Make no doubt about it. You know, one of the things that I wanted to talk about, though I might not do it right here, is the fact that Bobby and Whitney, they had made sort of a pilgrimage to Israel during their relationship, and had visited the African Hebrews, or the black Hebrews, black Jews, African American Hebrews of Jerusalem.
As you can see, folks, I got some fans over at InfoWars. Because, like I keep telling you, Alex Jones is my biggest fan, and obviously one of his graphics designers over there is stealing my style. This intro right here looks very similar to Gatekeepers of Your Mind, which was the fucking most effective underground video ever. And when I say underground, I'm not calling Alex Jones documentaries underground, because obviously he's employed by Ted Turner. My work is truly underground and needs more views to them. Obviously, you need to spread those around because they're pieces of work. They're masterpieces. Obviously, people be buying views and all that shit. Anyways, check this out. As you can see, an intro here, it looks very similar to mine, but the font sucks. But as you can see, it has the same kind of opening. And then what I'm noticing is their fonts, they're using distortions now on their fonts, like I do. Then they use videos, like normal videos, where they put the YouTube video on top of another video, like I do. So I don't know what they're trying to do here. I think they're seeing the effectiveness of my videos. I don't know what it is, but I think they're trying to confuse their audience and shit. But whoever's doing it is obviously a fan of mine. Because we've called Alex Jones constantly trolling my page. The other day he called himself a schizophrenic because I called him a schizophrenic. Like, he listens to my shit like every day, literally. And we've caught him, and we catch his wife trolling our accounts all the time too.
Moetzet Yesha, in conjunction with My Israel, has arranged instruction day for wiki editors. The goal of the day is to teach people how to edit in Wikipedia, which is the #1 source of information today in the world. As a way of example, if someone searches the Gaza flotilla, we want to be there. We want to be the guys who influence what is written there, how it's written, and to ensure that it's balanced and Zionist in nature.
I came here to learn more about how we as Israelis and as Jews can defend Israel online, on the internet, and particularly in Wikipedia in this case. Wikipedia is a bit of a complex system, and it's sometimes hard to figure out the rules. I've personally tried to edit things in Wikipedia that were against Israel, small things, and my changes were erased or undone, and I didn't understand why. And I think that this kind of knowledge is important for anyone who wants to be active in defending Israel on the internet, so that we can go and we can see the information and we can say this isn't quite right, it's showing one side of the story, and I have the power and the right to change that. And in general, it's so important for us to be online, working to defend ourselves and to prove to the world and to ourselves that we are just and we are right. And because right now, if you look online, if you do searches for certain terms related to Israel, it's just filled with anti-Semitism, anti-Zionism, and garbage. And there's not enough of us out there working to counteract that and make sure that the other side of the story, our side of the story, and our right side of the story is getting the right coverage and the coverage that it needs. So this type of initiative and initiatives like that to educate and promote defense of Israel online are extremely important, and I hope we'll see more of this in the future.
All right, folks, we're looking at a web cache, googleusercontent.com, and this thread has been locked. This was back in 2010, August of 2010. Let's scan down. June of 2010, August 2010, June 2010, June 2010. All this is of 2010. Okay, now here's the kicker. Let me read you this first statement. By KathakSung, Katha K. Sung, Kat the K. Sung, says on August 2010, doesn't say exact date, but August 2010. Here's the title of the post. Obama used school shooting to disarm America. In approximate 2 years from today, there will be a mass school shooting in Connecticut. A lone gunman will kill many children. That's a trick of propaganda. Step by step, they make it a totalitarian country. They have a false flag attack on December 2012 to justify their war on Second Amendment. The responsible gun owner is wronged as terrorist. The real mastermind of the shootings grins at the soap opera they directed. They treat you like fools. Do not have a logic. Confuse. Okay, it's almost like it's written by a foreigner or something who doesn't have the best grasp of the English language. But let me read you the first line again. And again, I tell you, this is a cached Google user content. So this thread was locked back in 2010. Then I'll read you the last comment too, where the guy says he's going to lock the thread. Okay, again, August 2010. Obama used school shooting to disarm America. And here's the first sentence, the kicker. In approximate 2 years, again, that's 2010. 2 years, approximate 2 years, from today there will be a mass school shooting in Connecticut. A lone gunman will kill many children. That's a trick of propaganda. Step by step, they make it a totalitarian country. I'm going to give you the link to this so you guys can check the thread and read down the thread, because there's it's an interesting thread, I'll put it that way. It's not a very long one, very brief comments. And then right at the bottom, the guy says, I think I'll lock this thread because I can see it going to shit in the very near future. And again, this was in June of 2010, the thread was locked. So this is cached, thread was locked in 2010. And again, here's someone with some kind of foreknowledge of this Connecticut Sandy Hook shooting. And in fact, it looks like that's a trick of propaganda. Again, does someone know ahead of time, years ahead of time, they're planning these operations? I mean, if Sandy Hook is a hoax, and by all means it does look like to some degree it was a hoax. You know, how much I can't tell you because others are experts and have been researching that since day one. But again, this is just like the Oslo shooting. There's a cached report weeks beforehand describing the number of people killed, the bomb and everything. So this seems to be a pattern, folks, and that's all I'm saying. We need a congressional, I know they're all corrupt, but in theory, if they weren't corrupt, we need a congressional investigation. We really do, into this matter. In any case, have a look at this for yourself. In 2010, someone knew ahead of time there's going to be a mass school shooting in Connecticut. That can't be a coincidence. Unless this whole thing was created and backdated, which I'm just not seeing that. I'm just not seeing that. And even if it was, we got a real problem with people backdating, trying to cause people to think there is a hoax. That's a national security interest if you're trying to rile up the public and make them think the government's performing hoaxes when they're not. That would be a concern too, wouldn't you think? So either way, we got a major problem here. But someone should explain to me how in August 2010, someone knew that approximately 2 years from that date, there'd be a mass school shooting in Connecticut. Trick of propaganda, step by step, totalitarian country. All right? I give you the link, folks. Have a good day. Patrick Penry over and out.
As what's going on, we have no lives at all. On the weekend. Yeah.
Except for homework. Oh, but
Yeah,
that doesn't contain
homework.
lives
I
anyway.
hate homework.
No one likes
this?
homework.
Stream ads.
No one likes.
Okay.
No one
Can we
likes
make
homework.
money from ads? Like, can they like come onto our channel and we'll be like, fuck you, we want money.
You have to click save before you do it.
Okay, so we just go like oh shit, YouTube. Oh, that's pretty good.
It's not bad. I'll have to join it.
Subscriptions.
Subscriptions.
Oh wow.
How's that going?
Subscribe to Google.
In Skrillex and Deadmau5?
No, they're not there.
You just go find them though.
Yeah, I don't want to find them. I don't have the time.
They were right there when I joined.
I don't care someone.
Oh,
Gaming.
Nom 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 nom.
Oh yeah, village boss. No, I don't like Toby actually. He's just annoying. Go away.
That one.
Yeah, White Rooster and Captain Sparkles. All these are okay. All these guys are cool.
Except for we don't know half of them.
IGN, there you go. Who the hell's that?
Mm-hmm.
Respawn. +2. Wow, that's pretty cool. How it's this second thing, and it's it's like all the way up here. He looks so funny, I reckon. He's a legend. Look at that, it's so funny. I like wearing those hats.
You can get these hats, they're hats and they've got beards on.
Yes, what are they called? Beardies.
They're cool as, I want one.
I want one too.
Go to school in it.
Right into school.
Horrible.
Who's that?
Don't know. Don't know that person.
Anyway.
Skrillex Cinema official.
Music. Can we like get music?
Illegally.
Wow.
No, you can do it illegally.
Yeah.
I know how to do it legally.
Yeah, everyone does.
As long as.
By the way, I might be putting up a couple of videos, like just random.
From the past.
Random fucking videos.
We found some. I found interesting things. I found a new thing in Minecraft.
Solomon
30. Oh, 1.3.1.
What was it?
That whole thing, the square hole.
Oh yeah. If you come across a hole in the desert,
Perfectly square.
a perfect square hole
With one block in the
and
middle.
It's got one block in the middle.
The very middle. Dig down in that block, and you'll. I found a spawner and a chest.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And he also figured out that
And there's
spades
heaps
dig
of them.
faster than anything else. They dig faster than
Bang bang. And there's equinox. And rock and roll. And hippo butt explosion.
Oh my god. What's this? What if it shoots on his face or something?
It will.
How much do you reckon is in there? I'll make it weird.
Oh, there's heaps of dislikes.
Oh my god.
Oh, man.
What's it doing?
It's whipping its poo everywhere.
Oh my god.
I think it's like in a line.
Okay.
Watch that one, watch that one. Looks funny.
No, it's on. We're not here to watch videos on YouTube. We're here to like.
Like we do every weekend
Yes.
when we're not playing Minecraft.
Oh, there we go. Alright.
Yeah.
Okay. Our parents are coming. Bye.
Slip or pushed her underneath. Have said foul play is.
Think about it, Anderson. Think how many people we have to hear about, whether it's Amy Winehouse.
Is such a demonic. It sacrifices people's lives and their essences.
Like, I'm tired of this mess, and she was using a few other choice words.
I do 2 hours a day this video. Hi, come say hi to your godfather, okay?
Three additional suspects have been taken into custody, have been arrested in connection with the Boston Marathon bombing. This comes 2 weeks and 2 days after the initial attack right here on Boylston Street in the block behind me.
It would give the lie to the idea that the Sarnea brothers were lone wolves acting on their own.
Okay, so here's a helpful hint from my local news station. Watch the scroll at the bottom. If traveling, remember, turn around, don't drown. What? What in the world does that mean?
It was completely anti-nuclear, and I have to say that the movie has completely changed my mind, and I've done a 180, just like all the other environmentalists in the movie.
Like he's literally skin and bone. Oh, don't be so mean, you know. Just leave it.
Он уже, наверное, не будет большой, не будет расти.
Nuclear could help. Having seen this movie, now I'm even more sure.
This is another link sent to me, but it seems to be the same link, a different formatting, preparing for major terrorism exercises, 3 cities. And again, this is by David Roop. And then as we look over to the side here, this one says January 7th, 2006 at 10 a.m. Okay? And it is the same read as what I read you that gave you the May 2nd date, but then if you look down in this corner, this has got a 2013 ABC News Internet Ventures, all rights reserved. So it's labeled 2013 here, and then up here we have January 7th, and then if you'll bear with me 1 second here, the story that I put out is by David Roop, or Roopy, and it's from May 2nd. And then as I scroll down this, there's the bomb suspect, alarmed Russian relatives, Boston bomb suspect taken alive, government hope suspect survives, then that there, and all of these things pertaining to real time. Yet this says May 2nd on it.
And of course, this other one I showed you, that says January 7th, 2006, but it's the same read up as we just had, and it's got a 2013 copyright on it. So there are some discrepancies. I don't know who's doing what and what's to make of all this. But this is where we're sitting, folks. God bless you all. Stay safe and stay smart. Oh, and I'll throw this on there. I'm receiving multiple public death threats over my recent vids. So if I get whacked, boy, won't it be a confirmation that something ain't right. Take care. Later.
Folks, I'm just recording a brief introduction here to this prophecy. Whitney Houston was sacrificed. There can be no doubt about it. Please click on the link in the description and go read this. You need to read this information. You need to read this warning from our Lord and our Savior Jesus Christ, because there's going to be more of this taking place. Click on the link and go read it, please.
Alright, hello again, human beings. It's an all-stop, lamestream media fail. Bullshit! I just came from lunch, I'm having my coffee, and CNN is on the idiot box. Right? So you listen, see what kind of scam they're coming up with today. Supposedly somebody broke into the fucking Congress, right? Stole a baseball and computers. Bullshit! Did you see? Also booze stolen. What in the fuck is Congress doing loaded with booze? No wonder it takes you fucking pukes so long to decide anything. You're all stewed. You're having a 4-month-long fucking cocktail party while Obama's passing executive orders. Get off your fucking bullshit. Fuck you, CNN. That's a false flag bullshit. In a month or so, we'll hear computers were infected by these smucks. Let me tell you something. You shouldn't get on the lawn of the Congress. You shouldn't be able to get onto the lawn if it's after hours. Say nothing about get inside the fucking building. And when you get in there, what do you find? A bunch of fucking drunks with a cabinet full of liquor. People that are running my country. Booze fully stocked in the Congress. But I'm a criminal because I smoke pot. Fuck you.
David here with Destination Human, and I'm here with Kevin Allen. Say hello, Kevin.
I'm still pissed off.
Yeah, I know he's still pissed off. I'm pissed off myself.
Obama.
Can you believe the crap? How does the congressional offices get broken into? How does it? I don't get it. I mean, this is stupid. I have no words for it. All I can say is it's bullshit. And you know something? You see this over here? Really, truly, I'm going to say it. Kiss my ass.
Hi world, it's Chatty Dad 1 coming at you tonight. I've been doing some research, pretty heavy, into Jeff Bowman and Nick Voigt. I know there's a lot of stuff going on the internet right now that this guy, Nick Voigt, was the guy who was pretending that he had his legs blown off. Well, I've come to find out that this is not true as far as I can tell. This is his this is all Google searches on an image. This is Nick Voigt right here. It's him with his new legs. He's, you know, playing around. Got a good sense of humor. It's him with some medals. There's a closer up shot of him. This is Jeff Bowman. This is the man who had his legs blown off at the Boston Marathon. Does he look like the same guy to you? Because he doesn't to me. To me, he looks like a completely different man. I mean, he's even got the same friggin' t-shirt on. That's him there in the hospital recovering right now. There's a picture of him there. To me, this guy's a walking miracle. To me, this is an example that God still does miracles today. This guy should be dead, but he's not. And, you know, I was suspicious at first too, but until I got to looking in it real deep and realized that these guys ain't the frickin' same person. Come on, do some research, please. Do some research before you throw something out there. This guy's gonna have to deal with this for the rest of his life, and so is Nick Voigt. Nick Voigt is being accused of doing something that he didn't do. Okay? That's sad. And this right here is images of Nick Voigt. And it's got Jeff Bowman's picture on it. I mean, come on, people. This is ridiculous. Some people get ahead of themselves a little bit too much. Now, right here, I believe that this is beyond a shadow of a doubt that these two men are not the same man. This is Nick Voigt right here. This is Jeff Bowman. This is the guy who was in the Boston Marathon who got his legs blown off. A walking miracle. Nick Voigt. Jeff Bowman. Jeff Bowman. Nick Voigt. Jeff Bowman. Jeff Bowman. Jeff Bowman. Jeff Bowman. Oh, I'm sorry. Who's that? Nick Voigt. I mean, do you see what I'm saying, people? The guy's a walking miracle. God's got something for him to do. We need to quit jumping on things so friggin' fast. And I know that, I mean, you guys make up your mind. I've made my mind up. So, you guys make your minds up. But I know what I know. And I know these two men are not the same man. And I know that Nick Voigt wasn't there pretending to be Jeff Bowman. I know that that was genuinely Jeff Bowman there that had his legs blown off. This man right here. That's the guy. This other guy lost his legs in the military fighting for us, for his country. The sad thing is that this is on frickin' Nick Voigt's images. When you search for Nick Voigt, well, there's Jeff Bowman's picture. You know, and they do look similar. They do look a lot alike, but not that much alike. All you gotta do is do some research into it, and you'll find out that they're not the same guy. Anyway, I'm out for truth. Truth. I want the truth to be known. I don't want to hear a bunch of bullcrap lies. I want the truth. And I think you guys do too. So I'm trying to give it to you the best I can. So, you know, I know that, excuse me, I know that this whole thing is messed up and ain't right. There's big problems. I believe we have two factions in our government at war right now. Excuse me. And I think it's going to spill out onto the rest of us. I believe the United States of America has a reckoning coming. We've unleashed hell and fire and death all around the world for decades, and I think it's going to come home. It may have already begun, and I think it's in our due time. We've got it coming. I hate to say that, but you know, I'm just afraid that the reckoning is coming to us. Anyway, I hope everybody's well. I wanted to bring you guys this and show you what I'd found. The truth. This is Chatty Dad 1. God bless and good luck to us all. Pray for those who've been hurt and killed, who are in mourning. When the wicked rule, the righteous mourn. We are in mourning. Buy all the ammo you can, while you can, if you can, and when you can. And firearms if you can too. Chatty Dad 1 over and out.
Hey guys, W7, April 20th, 2013. I am traveling on the road. Have not been able to cover as much news as I want, but what I've got for you today here is a bombshell. Okay, it's explosive proof that all these events were false flags. Now, mind you, I want to let you know that I am getting hit hard by YouTube in attacks. I always am. People are constantly telling me they're not getting my thing in their subscription feed. They can't subscribe. Well, they'll subscribe. They'll leave. They'll come back. They're unsubscribed. Their comments ain't showing. Their comments are disappearing. They can't message me. They can't send me a message. This and that. YouTube tries to hit me with violations or remove monetization, or they'll do whatever they want to do to try to mess with me. And all these videos that I've been putting out here recently, they're catching a lot of flack because of what they pertain to. Now, with that said, right now, you're seeing events unfold about these suspects in Boston. I'm about to show you exactly who did it and who did not do it. Okay? They're saying, well, their family's coming out and saying, the aunt's saying that this is a setup. Never happened. Cops are coming out and saying this guy was alive on the ground. They were cuffing him. They had a huge firefight. He was alive. He ran him over. He killed him. Then this guy ran. They track him down to a boat that he's hiding in. Some guy just walks out of the middle of the night, looks in his backyard at his boat, and notices blood on the side. Goes over, flips over the top, looks in, sees this guy hiding all bloody in the boat, runs, calls police. Why this guy didn't run is beyond me. I would have. I think anyone would have. You've been busted. Duh. Anyhow, that's what happened. Cops show up. They say they riddled this whole boat full of bullets. And said that this guy's in serious condition. Well, here he is climbing out of the boat. The helicopter took this pic on his own power. No cops got him by the arm, trying to yank him out, cuff him. Nothing. They were probably crapping themselves when they riddled this boat full of bullets, and this dude comes popping out alive. With no weapon in his hand, you know, at this point, coming out alive, you know, anybody could have shot him, probably got away with it. But he's alive. Now, what I want to say is this. I don't believe this is your bomber, and I'm going to tell you why, and I'm going to show you why. You see this? This is after the explosion. After both explosions. And they're trying to blame these two brothers. You're going to hear it on CNN, Wolf Blitzer. You're going to hear all these guys coming out saying this is extremist, this and that. Chris Matthews tried to say that they were liberals and right-wing extremists. And now they're blaming these guys. But this guy left the scene with his backpack on. You zoom in and you define it. His elbow cuts up right here, and that is his backpack on his back. He is leaving the scene with his backpack. As for his brother, I'm not sure. He's not in the frame. But the 2 explosions that went off, they're trying to say that they were set there by these 2 men from both their backpacks. I'm telling you right now, it's a lie. And I'm showing you proof right here in front of your face. This is unlike any other event in history. So many people around, so many pictures, so many cameras, so many cell phones. They couldn't stop them all. They can't. All they can do is try to go back and filter it all through the internet, which is what they're trying to do right now on YouTube, what they're trying to do through all these other sites. And I'm telling you, I can't give you any more information to let you know that this is a false flag, other than the guys that they're trying to tell you right now are the men, and they know they're not. They're not. You want me to show you who is the man? This man. Same guy I pointed out to you right here. That white square that we talked about only matches 1 backpack, and all the people that we viewed, all the people that we looked at in the crowd, matches 1 man, 1 backpack with the upper zipper, this guy. And guess what? Guess who's running out of the event with no backpack? Blackwater, Kraft, these guys. They did it. There you go. How much more proof do you need? Their suspect leaving the scene with his backpack. They're undercover agents that they're never going to even ever mention on the mainstream media, whose backpack matches perfectly to the debris left, is seen running out of there without his backpack. Smoked it, folks. This is it. Game over. Dabu7 declares it. I'm officially telling you right here. These are your men. Guilty as charged. You track them down, they're guilty for murder and everybody involved. Let's see what they do to this video. Till next time, Dabu7, and this is Illuminati.
Come in. What's up? Hey, what's up?
So, how was your day?
It was good. What's up? How was yours?
It was alright. I actually got kicked out of one of my classes.
Whatever. I mean, I get kicked out of class all the time. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Do you think you're ready to tell people?
No.
Wait,
I don't want people knowing about this.
Wait, no, but...
Nah, dude, I told you, I don't want people to know about this.
Hold on, though. I thought you said you loved me.
I do, but dude, my friends can't know about this. I don't want people to know about, I just don't want people to know about this. I'm not ready.
You've been saying that for months now.
Yeah, I'm not ready. I don't want my friends to know. I'm not ready. I can't do that.
I want this now. I want us now. I want to go to the top of the mountaintops and scream, I love you.
You have it. What does it matter if people know? It's between me and you. What does it matter if people know?
Why are you hiding from this?
I'm not hiding from it. I'm not ready for my people to know. I'm not ready. That's not my fault. I'm not ready. I'm sorry. They won't take it good. I know. I can't. I can't. They can't know. It doesn't make a difference.
Accept it.
I accept it to myself. Other people won't accept it.
If they accept me, they'll accept you.
I just need time. I need time. Okay, look, this is a big deal to me, and I can't just come out like that. I can't tell people. I need time. Can I please? I love you. I just need time.
You know what? I'm so done with this. I'm so done with this. Take all the time you need.
Up. Oh. Outside.
Yeah.
What the fuck, bro? Dude, fucking homeless.
Faggot. Faggot.
Fucking homo,
Fuck
dude.
you are, you homo. Gay. Fucking eat shit. Oh my god.
Yeah,
What was that, dude?
I don't fucking know, bro.
You try to kiss?
Are you no, like that? No, that's fucking him, dude.
I didn't see that. You
No,
guys
what the
together?
fuck? I ain't gay. What the fuck? He's fucking gay. You're a fucking faggot.
Dude, you have to beat him up. You gotta beat him up.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
makes you a man.
All right, fuck him.
He can't be walking around doing
faggot.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody's always going. Please stay there.